Records are made to be broken, and there's no better setting for that than the Olympics. If the last 2 summer games are any indication, we can expect to see around 20 new world records in Paris. These are some of the stars chasing athletic immortality. This episode of Names of the Games is presented by Amazon Business. As sports fans, we love it when athletes destroy our conceptions of what's possible. No human in history had ever run a 4-minute mile before Roger Bannister, which means he'd run at least 2 before this video is done. The track and field events do tend to be prone to never-before-seen feats, but just 3 world records went down on the brick red surface of Tokyo last go-around. Track supplier Mondo went avant-garde with the first-of-its-kind purple track that will circle around the Stade de France. Why purple? Well, partly because it's one of the theme colors for this year's games, but also maybe because it looks cool and evokes the lavender fields that dot the French countryside. But it's not all about aesthetics. The new track has performance improvements of which the speediest among us are primed to take full advantage. Now, here's my obligatory reference to Usain Bolt. Bolt has held the 100 and 200 meter world records since 2009. And while there's sprinting talent all over the world, this year's crop of American men could definitely challenge him. Noah Lyles has made it clear he's got the lofty goal of coming for both. Lyles used to be a 200 meter specialist, so he's much higher up in the world record leaderboard there, behind only Bolt and Johan Blake. After sweeping gold in the 100 and 200 at the 2023 World Championships, Lyles made another statement at the US trials, running a personal best in the 100 and a 2024 world leading time in the 200. Safe bet those Yu-Gi-Oh cards are ending up on his flight to Paris. His plan for 2024 is to prove he's the fastest man in the world, but he's also eyeing the 2028 games in LA to be the site of his professional masterpiece, just so we're all on the same page. The racer who finished a spot ahead of Lyles for 200 meters silver at the 2020 games, on the other hand, describes himself as a quiet warrior. With his trademark headband, Kenny Bednarek was right behind Lyles in both of the sprint events at the US trials and will continue to apply pressure in the Olympics. You might not know a whole lot about Kung Fu Kenny, but the nickname should tell you that he's not like us when it comes to pure speed. Back in May, Fred Kerley claimed he'd break the world record the next time he ran the 100. His chance came at the New York Grand Prix, where he didn't end up running after 2 slips off the starting blocks, which he said weren't high quality enough for a pro meet. He ran a respectable 9.88 at the US trials, but that was only good for 3rd behind Lyles and Bednarek. Kerley's personal best of 9.76 is faster than both of his American counterparts, so we know the 2020 silver medalist in the 100 has an extra gear if he can get dialed in. Rounding out the Americans chasing down Bolt is someone who already has. In fact, when considering under 20 races only, young Erriyon Knighton ran the 200 meters faster than Bolt a whopping 11 times. The only sprinters of any age to run it faster than him are the all-timers: Bolt, Blake, Lyles, and Michael Johnson. At age 17 in Tokyo, Knighton was the youngest member of the US Olympic track and field team since 1964. With much respect to Bolt, his 15-year reign as the 100 and 200 meter record holder doesn't compare to Florence Griffith Joyner's. She's held both records for more than double that, 36 years. But Flo-Jo's long-standing marks feel more under threat than ever. Let's start with the 100, where Jamaica's got a pair of contenders even without the injured Elaine Thompson-Herah, whose personal best is only narrowly behind the world record. Shericka Jackson is a 2-time world champ in the 200 meters, but is far from a slouch in the 100, taking home Olympic bronze in 2020 and running top 5 times in the world in 2024. Jackson has said she's more focused on winning her first individual Olympic gold in 2024 than running any particular time, be that medal in the 100 or the 200. But she's lightning quick. Shelly-Ann Frasyer-Pryce is considerably older than Jackson at 37, but hasn't exactly shown signs of slowing down. If she can win the 100, she'll set a record regardless of her time by becoming the only athlete other than Bolt to win this glamour event 3 times in Olympic history. Sha'Carri Richardson hasn't run quite as fast as Frasyer-Pryce's best, but no one else in the field has proven to be faster. The Dallas native's 10.71 second dash back in June is the fastest women's 100 in the world this year. Plus, she's proved she can hang head-to-head. At the 2023 World Championships, Richardson edged both Jackson and Frasyer-Pryce for 100-meter gold. American Gabby Thomas, the 4th fastest woman ever in the 200, said with all the talent in the event this summer, the existing record has got to go. She's seen the progression firsthand, having posted the then-best non-Flo-Jo time ever back in 2021, only to see it surpassed 7 times since, including once by herself. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is already the world record holder in the 400-meter hurdles, but history suggests she'll lower that record once again at the Olympics. McLaughlin-Levrone has broken that world record in the final round of her last 5 national or global championships, starting with the 2021 U.S. trials. Talk about saving your best for the biggest moments. Pole vaulter Armand Mondo Duplantis of Sweden, by way of LSU, seems to be only competing with himself too. It's been a golden run for the 24-year-old since 2020, and he just keeps leaping higher. 8 times he set a new world record, with the latest clocking in at 20 feet 5.5 inches. He hasn't yet nailed his attempts at 20 feet 6 inches, but the Olympics energy could definitely change that. Setting a world record twice in a week, like Duplantis has done, is amazing. But what about twice in an hour? Speed climber Sam Watson shaved 0.06 of a second off his time in less than 60 minutes at a World Cup event in April. And he posted the classic Wilt Chamberlain-inspired record number hastily scribbled on a white sheet of paper photo to put an exclamation point on it. Don't let the sense of humor of this 18-year-old Mario Kart enjoyer fool you, though. The dude can fly, and with his love of chess, the only explanation is that he's Queen's Gambiting his way up that 50-foot wall, seeing every move before he makes it. Another arena the U.S. has dominated at the Summer Games is, of course, the pool. Katie Ledecky is a major piece of that, with 7 golds and 3 silvers. Ledecky could surpass every American athlete not named Michael Phelps with 3 total medals this year, but her best chance at a new world record is probably her signature event, the 800-meter freestyle. A 4th gold in the 800 would make Ledecky the only swimmer besides Phelps to win Olympic gold in a single event 4 straight times. Her teammates are history makers too. At the U.S. trials, Regan Smith and Gretchen Walsh set new world records in the 100-meter backstroke and butterfly respectively, so keep an eye on those events in Saint Denis. Now to another GOAT of the games, the incomparable Simone Biles, who competes in a sport where the scoring doesn't really lend itself to the world record conversation. But if she wants a number to shoot for, back in 2016, Biles won the individual all-around by 2.1 points, smashing the previous best winning margin of 1.4 from way back in 1968. The International Gymnastics Federation changed its scoring system in 2006, which eliminated the chance at perfect 10s, but one more medal of any color will give Biles 8 total, breaking a tie with Shannon Miller for the most in U.S. gymnastics history. Does this cover all the records that might go down this summer? Definitely not. Around 10,500 athletes, evenly split between men and women for the first time, will compete. There are 329 medal events in 45 different sports, 206 countries will be represented, and most of them have won an Olympic medal at some point. So to close things out, here's the full list from memory of all 68 National Olympic Committee members who could set a record in Paris by winning their first Olympic medal. Albania, American Samoa, Andorra, Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Aruba, Bangladesh, Tuvalu, Vanuatu, and Yemen. That took longer than I thought. Looks like everybody went home, but we'll be rooting for records in Paris. Let us know in the comments which ones you think are going to fall.